Hi everyone. As I said in my last video, the T2200 form is out. The CRA has published it. So that's about the work from home expenses claim form, and I said I will be doing a video on that. So now we are ready to go, and the video is ready. Stay tuned and stay subscribed to the channel so that you will get more information about the taxes, credits, and all the latest development in the tax context. And here we go. Okay, so this is the T2200 form, which is supposed to be filled to claim the work from home expenses or any other expenses related to conditions of employment. So where we are here, we are talking about the work from home expenses. So I'm gonna brief you on how to fill this. This is not supposed to be filled by employee first of all, but why I'm giving this video out is for two reasons. One, if you are someone who work from home, then you have to get this form filled from your employer. Some of the employers may request you to fill the initial information, but most of the time they will fill it for you. The second very important point is, like, even after you getting this from your employer, you need to check whether certain points are completely and accurately filled. Otherwise, though you can claim in the tax return, you may not be able to, support the argument in that. In other words, like, this form is not supposed to be sent with your tax return when you file your tax return, but after some times when CRA decides to audit you, they will request this form, and at that time, if you find this form is not accurately completed, they may disregard all your expenses and you may lose all the tax credits you received, and you will be subject to penalty, interest, and all those additional consequences. Okay, let's go ahead with the form. So it says initially the employer must fill this form, or rather complete this form and provide this to the employee, and to deduct employment expenses from their income. And this part is also explaining a little more on this. And then let's go to the form. It says last name, first name, tax year. These are very easy things. Like tax year is like, now we are doing 2023 taxes in the year of 2024. So you have to put 2023 subject year, and employer's address and the job title and brief description of duties. For an example, if you are an accountant, you can put job title accountant, and a dash you can put accounting work or controller, or maybe accounts payable, accounts receivable manager, whatever it is. Just I gave you an example from the accounting industry, but it may vary for each and every industry and job. And then conditions of employment, these are very important parts. Like part B, the first question: did this employee's contract require them to pay their own expenses while carrying out the duties of employment? They have to say yes here. If they don't say yes, you are gone from here itself. Like, anything after this doesn't make any sense. You have to have this yes for sure. So when you get the form from your employer, check whether this yes tick is there. Number two, did you normally require this employee to travel to locations that were not your place of business? So what this talks about is, like, let's say your employer asks you to travel to more than one places. For an example, let's say you are a engineer and the employer has 3 or 4 sites at the same time, and he wants you to work in 3 or 4 sites at the same time because four projects are going on. So the employer is telling you to travel from one location to the other and then go from there to the other. So these are, like, in addition to your normal course of business, you are supposed to travel to more than one places. If you're traveling to only one business place, you cannot claim this. If not, if you're supposed to travel to various different places because of employment, you can claim this as well. And you have to keep logs, the mileage and the dates you traveled, and also the employer has to tick this. and they have to put, if yes, what was the employee's area of travel. So for an example, if you are living in Toronto, the employee can say the entire greater Toronto area. If it is like, maybe if it is something like entire Ontario, depends on the perimeter and everything, like they can put whatever the area, but it has to be a little bit specific. That's what they are saying. And the number 3 is, did you require this employee to be away for at least 12 consecutive hours from the municipality or metropolitan area? For example, let's say you work in Toronto, but the project is in Windsor, southern Ontario, where you need to stay at least a couple of days there, and the expenses are not paid by your employer, and it is something you have to pocket out. So then you have to get the yes tick here and have the receipts and bills with you, and it should be a frequent one. Like it should be once in like once a year or twice. Like even that is possible, but they expect you to have regular travel, like once a week, twice a month, or something like that. They can put it here, and then indicate the period of employment. So this is if you have worked the whole year, January 1st 2023 to 31st December 2023, and if it is employment started somewhere in the middle of the year, you can put that date, and end date is the end of the year. And then did this employee receive or were entitled to receive motor vehicle allowance? If they put yes, they have to put the amounts. How did that was paid? Like if it is a fixed allowance, they can put the fixed amount. If it is per kilometer rate, it should be, the rate has to be here and the amount has to be here. And then the third question, the important question, whether this allowance was included in your T4 slip. That has to be mentioned here. And then did the employee have the use of company vehicle? If you are using a company vehicle, they have to put yes or no. If it is your vehicle, they have to put no. Was the employee responsible for any expenses incurred for the company vehicle? Again, this is self-explanatory, and they have to explain what that is. Did you require this employee to pay for expenses which they did receive reimbursement? Did, which they did or will receive reimbursement. If they say yes, and if this is paid, something reimbursed, you cannot claim. So that's something to be on, keep it on your mind. And like anything reimbursed from the company is not something you can claim. These are, self-explanatory again. Did you require this employee to pay expenses for this? Did not receive any allowances. This is very important. If you pocketed out anything and if you didn't receive reimbursement, they have to say yes and then indicate what it is here. And did you pay this employee wholly or partly by commission? This is very important. So if you are a commission-based employee, there are certain other expenses you can claim, whereas non-commission employees cannot claim. So what's the total commission paid? And they have to indicate that amount and the yes tick here. And then whether it was mentioned in the T4 slip is something you have to mention here. And most importantly, these are like very self-explanatory questions. I'm coming straight away because we are already 8 minutes in the video. This part, we are very important. Did you require the employee to use a portion of their home for work? They have to say yes. And then approximately what percentage of the employee's duties of employment were performed at their home office? It should be more than 50%. If not, we cannot claim anything. Either 50 or anything over 50. And then they are asking, did you reimburse this employee for work home expenses? If they say yes, they have to put what are the expenses they reimbursed, and they have to put whether it was included in the T4. And this is very important, and this is what we need to know for us to claim the work from home employment expenses. And if you can get your employer to fill this form, this is 3 pages form, and the last part is employer's declaration. These are not relevant to us. We can do a separate video if required, but this is not something we need to know now for work from home expenses. Employer's name, the title, authorized person, signature, and the date, telephone number, those things. and name of the employer, social insurance number, date, and home address. So these needs to be filled, and once you have these information, this form is there, we can claim the work from home expenses. That's about this, and stay tuned. We will be sharing more videos on taxes and credits in the recent future. So stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.